Hello, I'm Marshal Vladimir, and this is Operation Overlord. So welcome back. This is the January 1940 turn for the British Commonwealth and Free France. So I'm going to start with my British tech rolls. Got long-range aircraft. That's a success. So that's a 7. I have long-range aircraft now. Wartime economy. This is only at stage 2. That's a 9. That is also a success. And then improved construction. A 7. That's an 8. That is also a success. So wow, I'm very thankful. All 3 tech rolls. My tech rolls have been surprisingly good this game. Okay. So now let's get on to my purchases. Just that could change my purchases a wee bit. So that FEC is gonna finish a fortification for 4 because we have improved construction now. Infantry 7, AA 11, 2 militia 15. So that's going to leave FEC with 1 additional IPP, which we're going to lend lease to Free France. I believe that's allowed. Yep, we can lend lease it to Free France. So there is no enemy submarine, so I'll just put that in the Free France bank right now. That's that. Then Anzac is going to build a submarine and an infantry. They'll also have an additional IPP that they're going to save, but we won't do anything about that. We'll just have an extra IPP saved. And then Britain doesn't affect their purchase. We're going to upgrade a militia, build 3 militia, build 3 infantry, and an AAA. So that's 10, 13, 15, 21. Yeah. And we've lost a lot of money to the convoy raiding from the veterans, so that's an extreme annoyance. Okay, so now to our combat moves. We're going to send these 4 infantry in Tanganyika up into Italian Somaliland, and this medium bomber in Gibraltar is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and take part in the attack on Italian Somaliland. And that's it for our Mediterranean combat moves. Okay, out here in the Atlantic by the British Isles, we are going to retake Northern England again. We're going to send down the infantry from Scotland. Send up the militia from British Midlands. Let me check this. So my strategic bombers gain +2 movement, so he has 9 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, we're going to be bombing northern Italy with the strategic bomber. Major factory there. He has no aircraft that can scramble, so that's all good. We're also going to be sending 2 fighters up from London to participate in the liberation of northern England. So we're also going to be sending a torpedo boat destroyer and a fighter from season 10 down to season 24, and a fighter from London to participate in the same combat as well. Then the entire British fleet in season 10 is going to move up to season 3 and attack the German torpedo boat destroyer there. Yeah, that looks like... just double checking. I don't believe I have any combat moves here. No, I do not. Okay. So now let's get to rolling. Gonna start up here on the attack on this torpedo destroyer. I'm gonna roll for my battleship and my battle cruiser. The battleship will be red and the battle cruiser will be blue. So that's a hit from the battleship. Now the German torpedo destroyer will return fire at 2. That's an 11, so that's a miss. He is sunk to the bottom of the sea. So now down here, the 2 fighters are going to be blues, and the torpedo boat destroyer is going to be a red. Our torpedo boat destroyer. Their torpedo boat destroyer will be the black dice. So that's a hit from us with the 6, and a hit from them with the 1. So 2 torpedo boat destroyers sunk. But both the fighters are going to remain not sunk. Now we're just going to grab these dice and move on to our last combat down here. So we have, so these 4 dice are going to be the infantry at 1, and then the red dice is going to be the medium bomber attacking at a 7. So let's roll. Okay, so that's 1 hit with the medium bomber. I'll just double check on the battle board. I do believe they attack at 7, medium bomber at 7. Okay, so that's 1 hit. 1 Italian's dead. They return fire at 4. 1 hit. Okay, now we have 1 less and they have 1 less. Just going to roll them all together this time. That's hit with medium bomber again. So, rest in peace, Italian. So we're left with 3 infantry. Oh, whoopsies. Whoopsies. Okay. 3 infantry. The problem with Tabletop Simulator, you can press the wrong buttons and then it does things. Okay, so we're left with 3 infantry and we take Italian Somaliland. That'll move us up 1 and Italy down 1. So Britain moves up to 28 and Italy moves down to 11, to 10 from 11. Then we're going to do the bombing of northern Italy. So they have 1 defensive dice at AA dice at a 3, and I have 2 dice at 2d6s for the bomber. So that's 6 damage, and they roll an 11, so my strategic bomber is undamaged by that. That's... Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So take that, Italians. Okay, so now we're going to move on to non-combat moves. So the strategic bomber went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over Switzerland, and now it's going to move. It has 4 movement left, and it's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to east to wait, 1, 2, 3 back to Gibraltar. Then sorry, I forgot to resolve combat in Northern England. 2 fighters and an infantry at 2 and a militia at 1. Germans have an airborne. That's a hit, that's unfortunate. 2 fighters now at 6. That's a hit. And the airborne back at 2. A 4. So, that's fine. Northern England was liberated. I'm not sure if this is right. I think... Oh, okay. I think I need to do a bit of a counter. So, Britain starts on 26. I believe we start on 26. Which is that? Here we are. 25. And we've moved up 1 for Italian Somaliland, 1 for Belgian Congo, and we haven't lost any land now that we've retaken this. So we should just be on 27. Yeah, we haven't taken any more other than that. So we're just on 27. Yep, okay. So now we move to 27. And Germany moves down. I'll have to double check that. Yeah, okay. Non-combat moves. The 2 fighters from Northern England are going to fly down to London. The 1 fighter from Season 24 is going to fly up to London, and the other one is going to fly back up to its aircraft carrier on the British fleet up there. We're also going to move a single infantry up from London into British Midlands. Okay, this destroyer and 2 transports, they're just going to move up next to Aden. We no longer have any Italians to worry about, so that's fine. This Marine is going to move from Haryana to Maharashtra. The medium bomber is going to land in Abyssinia, actually. Okay, in Australia, this infantry from Western Australia is going to be railed back to Sydney. The submarine from 146 is going to move up to 135. And the light cruiser and transport are going to move to 146. That's it for Australian non-combat moves. The submarine in 122, it's going to move to 87. And both of these destroyers are going to leave the escort duty. I believe they can. Not sure this is the right phase, but I don't really believe it matters because they didn't participate in anything. So they're just both going to end their movement in Season 79. And that is my non-combat movement done. Yes, I believe that is. So now I'll get on to placement. Okay, so Anzac has a submarine and an infantry. Anzac's going to build their submarine in 146 and build the infantry in Sydney. So they end with 5 infantry, an artillery, and a militia there. Then FEC. FEC is going to complete their fortification in Calcutta. Then they have a militia, an infantry, and an AAA to place. The AAA is going to be placed in Calcutta. The infantry is going to be placed in Haryana. One militia is going to be placed in Maharashtra, and the other militia is going to be placed in Burma. Yeah, we'll place them in Burma. Okay, now British placement. So the militia upgrade is going to happen in British Somaliland. So now we have 4 infantry down there. And then the rest of the units are all going to be placed in the British Isles. We have a definite threat of Operation Sea Lion, so we don't take this lightly. The 3 infantry and an AA gun is going to be placed in London. A militia in Scotland. A militia in British Midlands. And an extra militia in London. Okay, that's my placement done. Now let's collect our income. Anzac collects 9 to end with 10. FEC will again collect 16. Britain collects 27 plus 2 bonus from Egypt. 3 bonus from Egypt. Okay, so we collect 30 for Great Britain. Okay, so now moving on to Free France. So Free France is going to build an infantry, and because of the dollar received from FEC, a mountain infantry. So that's Free France. I do not believe we have any movements that are any combat or non-combat movements. Actually, yes, we do. We're going to move this infantry from Abyssinia up to Nubia. But other than that, we have none. And then, yeah, we're gonna actually, you know what? Let's just build, instead of that mountain infantry, we're gonna build 2 militia. The one militia is going to be placed in Anam Tompkin. One militia is going to be placed in northern Algeria along with the extra infantry. So we have 3 infantry, a militia, and a mountain there. Now, and that we collect 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Collect 6 and end their turn. So, yep, thank you for watching, and I'll pass it on to the veteran with Italy's turn.